Now Manning. That'll go as a loss of 5. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Back to throw. Manning. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And able to find Graham, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. It doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Manning now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, in the best.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Bruce Smith in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
A huge play there in overtime. 61 yards. Well, we know they like to get him the ball in space there, an underneath route. Get it to him, let him make some people miss. Turned out to be a big play in overtime.
Did it ever. And let's face it, it's a league of matchups. That's what you want. Get a running back into space, as you talked about. Put the ball on him and let him do the work afterwards. And that time, it worked really well.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Telvin Smith coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
The pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
The Madden Legends offense trotting out again. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
And we're going to get whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the extra session. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Manning. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tech McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Grady Jarrett, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And here's your ball game, down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And he's going to go down again. Vic Beasley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. But we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And you...
And now the offense getting set, 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Ryan now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Can you believe it? The Madden legends and this crowd, they thought it'd be a cakewalk today.
You just look around at some of the faces right now in this crowd. It wasn't even supposed to be close. We thought 3-4 touchdown difference maybe the other way.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Hard to believe that they are trailing late in this game.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out now come the legends. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters.
And the ball is knocked out. But fortunately, another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession.